I had everything all set up to go live on okay, so hang on one second. I'm going live earlier than what I was doing. So I want to, okay. I can't do them at the same time? Oh my goodness. Well, here I am. It looks like I can't do two things at once over here. So I have to just give me a few minutes. I'm just going to, I'm annoyed. So basically happened is I was trying to do a Zoom meeting on Facebook, but what ended up happening was because YouTube took the camera, Zoom was like, I don't think so. I don't like that at all. Not a big fan of that. So it said, I'm kicking you out. So I had to try a different way and see if things will be different. It's such an interesting day for me. I have Billy and Azara, and I don't know who else is out there watching right now, but have you been finding your day interesting today? Today is what? Day locked 500 million day of social isolation. And then some change, maybe. It's like day 50 million of isolation. And Julie, hi Julie. It is Mediumship on the Daily. I appreciate everybody on YouTube being patient with me and just allowing me some time to try and get live on all these things. It's yes, today feels weird. Today is definitely a really weird day. Hi. What's the matter? Is he grabbing something from underneath? Well, he's not going to like being separated. My dog does not like to be separated from me.
Starts barking. I'll let him in again.
You'll let him in again if he does that? Okay. So, all right. You don't like being separated. Yeah, Riley is not a big fan. Although I got to tell you, Riley has been having a wonderful time having everybody's attention. So lots of play, lots of fun things going on, lots of really. I'm wondering if this is going to have a hard time too. It just seems like everything has been so much harder. Okay, there we go. All right, so I think we might have figured it out, maybe. Okay, so let's see how that goes. This is kind of what I've been experiencing in this social one. I think most of you know who have seen me in person. Some of you who have seen me in person know that I'm a huge fan of linguistics. I love how language creates the barriers, and it also decides how we are working within a system, right? So that's what ends up happening, what I believe happens when we're talking about we're doing isolation, social lockdown. What are some of the other words, Monk, for it?
Wait, for what?
For where we're at?
Social distancing.
Social distancing. But not more than that. More like we're in isolation, we're in lockdown, we're in these things that are
martial law.
Well, hopefully not close to martial law. That would be awful. But I really want to talk a little bit about how we talk about this time, and maybe I want to offer that there could be different ways to looking at this time. So we've been, I'm sorry about this. I'm just trying to get comfy, figure out what's going on. I know I'm really early, so I appreciate that everybody is coming on early. And I appreciate that, and appreciate that you're willing to roll with the punches with me. And I still think that that I want to say, like, but this is what has been kind of happening. Curtains are shut, windows are shut, and I'm noticing that in today, which I was joking on YouTube because they were up before you guys, is that this is day 5 million bajillion gazillion day, and it just doesn't, it can take a toll. And depending on where you're at, I really want to strongly encourage you to at least go outside and get some fresh air. And the sun was out for a little bit, and today here in Michigan, it was warm in the morning, right? Is anybody out in the morning today? And then tonight, it's gotten so much colder. Like, I'm finding myself freezing tonight. So when there's a good question, when do I see this ending? It's interesting because I didn't. Oh yeah, and it's super windy as well. So I want to talk a little bit about mediumship today. Sometimes when we're doing mediumship, it doesn't mean, like, if I do a session with any one of you or a million other somebody else's brother or whatever, what I will find is that I'm not told everything. I'm only told things that can help the person. Oh, I wonder if this will help. Check this out. Whoa. What do you think about that? I'm not told everything that is important I'm only told what's important and what can help people out, not what, I'm not told everything. So when do I see this ending? I'm not sure if I actually see a date like that. It's interesting because I was talking to somebody who told me I had made a prediction about this before a reading that with them, and I didn't remember doing it at all. But I did have this time where I had said something about the virus and its mutation, and was saying, like, if people didn't really learn how to take care of themselves on a physical level. Now, this is what I think is so interesting about this physical level, is because you are called to take care of yourself on a physical level, not just an emotional, not just a spiritual, not just a, I kind of like it better like this, not just a, not just in the metaphysical terms. Now I kind of go there, but this is really about us taking care of ourselves, and also taking care of the ominous, or more than one person, right? The friend of a friend of a friend's grandmother, or the friend of a friend's sister who may have an underlying disease that you have no idea about. And how do we show that we care for other people right now? We truly look into everything, and how we're holding ourselves, and how we're holding ourselves responsible within this time, and maybe reframing it. Now, in the beginning, I was talking a little bit about linguistics and how the language we've been using, isolation, lockdown. I kind of want to change how we're doing this, because I think we're going to be in this for a while. And what I mean is a while. Right now, 2 more days, 2 more weeks, 2 more months. Really, is there that much of a difference on those? In Michigan, we're noticing that curve of it's a steep curve of, like, not even, we're going up on how many people have COVID-19. But what is the difference right now if it was 2 more days, 2 more weeks, 2 more months? Not a lot, but we can change how we're framing it. So I kind of want to talk about that tonight. I want you to frame it in an idea. I want you to frame it in the idea that you are being grounded, finding yourself rooted, finding your place within yourself that is calm and quiet. And when you're resting, I mean, I know that we're parted into, I can't remember whose New Year is in March, but why don't we just make it so that your New Year is in March? Like tonight is your New Year's Eve, tomorrow is your new day. Let's try and think about things that you want to do to release old emotional or old pattern and repattern into a proactive way versus a reactive way. You know what? You're very right. It's a huge difference economically for many. So I do. I mean, I do see that in YouTube. I want to say that that's huge, and there is a big reckoning for where we're going to be moving, and what our economies look like for quite a long time in years to come. So, but I do want you to frame it into an idea of that you're grounding yourself into taking care of yourself in a different way. The next thing that I'd like to think about it, and I know we've talked a lot. So a lot of these mediumship dailies, we've talked on how we are on how we're like trees and what they actually look like and what's your favorite tree and how they're really connected and how it was like how things all work together. And I want to offer, like, I want you to pick like that idea where you're either like the willow or some sort of tree where you're bending within the wind, able to take the tides, willing to change your current and change which way you're going so that you're able to feel fully who you are. Now, I want to offer, it keeps like nagging me as I'm sitting here, because I'm sitting here and I'm reading this comment on YouTube, and it's true. It's a big difference economically for many. We have created an economical system that is dependent in the service industry and dependent on not valuing a lot of people that we see now are really, really essential. I mean, how eye-opening can this be as we sit grounded in our space? So I want to offer to all of the people that are hurt financially by this. I didn't. I mean, that's just sort of like my personality, and I don't do things unless I'm driven to it. But if anybody is hurt financially from this, and they're looking to kind of get a session for themselves for what can happen to the future, I will offer you like a very inexpensive 15-minute, half an hour session. At a very discounted rate. I'm not going to name a price here because I don't want everybody to start inundating with me with questions. But I will say that if you're feeling this pinch, that we'll do like a quick little mini reading and take a look into your energy and what guidance the universe can give you to move forward. So just make sure that you get a hold of me, janny.readings@gmail.com. I know I have like a jannycook.com site, but I don't know where my email is that goes to that. So I just want to offer that for everybody who has some economical issues going forward and is looking for guidance. Get a hold of me. Let me know what you do and how this has affected you, and we'll figure out a price that works for you that's workable. So the next thing, I know I've given you guys a lot of homework here. So I want to offer one more thing before I get going. Let me think here. Hi Camille, how are you doing? today I'm thinking, as I'm sitting here so quiet in this, quiet in my feelings for the day and noticing what's coming up, I'm noticing some of my old way of thinking that don't serve me. So it's such an interesting place to be here with you and offering different kinds of support and thinking how I'm also exposing myself to, to making myself really really look at how I behave within the world and how I behave, or where my whole, where I fall down in my thinking again and again and again. So it's so interesting to me. It's such like it exposes it. So I am, along with you, working in this place of quiet, trying to be grounded in the work that I have in front of me, trying to envision these retreats that I'm scheduling in June, and trying to understand that this is a time for regrouping and grounding into who we truly are as a spirit, a soul, and a physical body. So I'm going to leave you with that today. I know it's like not a huge ton of guidance, but I want you to think about the idea that when you are working in this realm and going into the spiritual realm, you can't just wish yourself into some sort of different world than what you're in. You can't just do a whole bunch of mantras and think it's going to work out. It's working into the spiritual realm, working through your emotions and your physicalness is how you begin to shift. And it's so funny. I'm going to share this. I had to take a personality test for my day job, and sort of like I hate I hate like oh God, how do I say this without sounding? I don't like taking them so much. I don't like taking them because I don't think that, one, we're labeling. Two, it's, if you label somebody, what's really the point of it? Three, I've had some bad experiences. They kind of, all pile up. And I got these results back, and it was like I was a personality that was very enthusiastic, very likes novel things, likes to do different things, willing to just go out there and do it. So it's not surprising that I would offer a huge discounted rate just out of nowhere. I do those kind of things. But it's really kind of grappled me into where I may not be reaching enough people, where my own personality falls short in getting my work out into the world, and getting and doing mediumship groups and sessions and doing coaching. And I feel like I have so much more to do and offer. And if you've been watching through all of these mediumship on the daily, you'll know, I explained some of my story and how it came about, and how when I came was sort of like mediumship turned back on, or was like reacquainted within my life in my second half of my life, how there have been struggles for me, how sometimes it's a big struggle, and so I'm there and I'm feeling it, and I'm anyway. So that's all I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about putting a team together to do the right things, and the this and the that, and trying to figure out how I do these things. And then I had ideas about how I would run this mediumship on the daily, and have run into some technical issues. And then people that I had these kind of thoughts around, did my idea without me. So that's sort of, I'm kind of in those realms right now, thinking about what does that look like when you're trying to move forward and do your life work. You know what it looks like? I mean, is you just do your life's work. whatever it is, however it looks like, however it feels. So that's what I have tonight. See light, be light. I know there's some really challenging times. I'm going to offer that you, like I said earlier, try and frame it differently for yourself. Try and think of it as that you're actually giving your internal organs a rest. A rest. Like maybe you are not. Maybe you're finding this time. Maybe you want to do a cleanse or a fast, or you're wanting to change something. Now would be a really good time for you to bring those pieces into your life. And I think about it as into grounding, as in see light, be light, and I will see you tomorrow night. Ciao. Bye. Thank you so much, YouTube. Take care of yourself. Bye.